you ever learned something surprising about yourself from a friend? Maybe it was when they said you had food on your face, or introduced you to a new hobby that you ended up loving, or they finally pointed out that you've been spelling their name wrong for years. Isn't it amazing how our friends can help us see things that we weren't able to see before? This series is called Lifelines because great friends are like flotation devices when we're sinking. When we know we're sinking and are desperately looking for help, that's great news. But have you ever been in trouble and not realized it? Have you ever had a blind spot when it comes to what's best for you? There are so many reasons why we need godly friendships. We need friends to throw us a lifeline when we're drifting. It's not usually one sudden movement that gets us in trouble. It's more like a series of bad habits that slowly pull us away from who we want to be. We need friends to throw us a lifeline when we're distracted. Little distractions can become big problems when they make us lose focus on the things that matter most. And we need friends to throw us a lifeline when we're drowning. I don't know if you've ever felt like you were drowning in your own life before, but I have. I've been there. Sometimes life gets overwhelming or too hard or too sad or too busy. When we're drifting or distracted or drowning, we are sometimes the last people to notice. So when we start to drift or get distracted or drown, we could all use a friend who's willing to disrupt us with their well-timed support, help, or challenge. There are a lot of bad examples of friendship out there, but we have one really great example of a friend that we can look to. And that's the kind of friendship that Jesus gave to people. This is Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." Mary and Martha were two of Jesus' disciples. We use this term disciple a lot when we talk about Jesus, but it's important to remember that this term didn't begin with Jesus. Disciple has a long history in the Jewish faith. A disciple is a student of a rabbi or a Jewish teacher. But being a disciple wasn't just about learning. It was about imitating the lessons and the life of their teacher. Mary and Martha knew that Jesus was an important teacher, the most important teacher ever, actually. But all of that pressure must have gone to Martha's head because when Jesus entered the house, she got distracted. Martha was so busy trying to make everything perfect for Jesus that she wouldn't even sit down and listen to him teach. She went on a house cleaning and food preparation spree instead. Then she got really frustrated. Maybe Martha was frustrated with her sister for not helping. Or maybe Martha was frustrated with herself for prioritizing the wrong things. Either way, she took her frustration out on her sister. And Jesus called her out on it. A conversation like that is never easy. I Imagine that it must have felt a little embarrassing, both for Martha and anyone within earshot. But Jesus wasn't harsh or impatient or rude. Jesus simply helped Martha see something she hadn't seen before. He gave her a chance to choose a different way. Maybe Martha didn't know she simply had the option to just sit with Jesus. You see, a woman sitting at a rabbi's feet as a disciple would have been controversial in that time and place. Maybe she thought it was her job to take care of everyone and that she would have been a failure if she hadn't. Maybe she was so in the habit of helping others that she had forgotten to take care of herself. So Jesus gently says, Martha, Martha, it's okay. Sit with us for a while. Let's talk. When Martha was drifting and distracted and drowning in her self-imposed responsibilities, Jesus threw her a lifeline. He helped her see something she had never seen before. And then he gave her a chance to grow. This was a vulnerable moment. Jesus didn't condemn or shame Martha, but he didn't ignore that moment either. Jesus saw the thing that Martha couldn't see in herself, and then he invited her to make a change. Jesus does the same thing for us, and he invites us to do the same thing for each other.